Seismic, we operate in and around asset management and wealth management predominantly as a specialist and a market leader in the sales and marketing enablement space. So we work with so many wealth managers across the globe and in UK and Europe especially. So these conferences, and this one in particular, is vital for us so that we can first of all learn about what people in the community are talking about and what other vendors are, but it's primarily so we can share our insights as well. We connect so closely to how wealth managers are seeking to enhance how they operate, how they acquire new customers, grow AUM, for example. And we've been innovating so highly in certain areas that are clearly being pursued by people in the wealth management community. So being in this environment today is a wonderful opportunity to just engage and speak further about things that people need, but also to be able to share some of the new developments and new evolutions of the technology. So we've been speaking quite a lot in the last 6 to 12 months and ongoing this year as well about the next generation of wealth management. Clearly there is this, I guess, coalition of where the human interaction and engagement, which is so key to creating personal experiences, needs to marry with tech and innovation, which is where Seismic comes into play. The onus on personalization and connecting with a client on areas that interest them and that drive them is essential. So our presentation was really talking about the trends that we're noticing in the marketplace, how wealth managers are really turning to maybe a bit of diversification focused on ESG and sustainability, but also directing all of their attention and their focus at ways that they can elevate that client experience a little further so that it's more personalized and tailored to the individual, making it more meaningful. Such a competitive landscape at the moment, and those critical points of difference are key. And if there are ways that they can affect operational efficiencies to allow their key top-end resource to work more economically and focus more on strategic, bottom-line influencing activities, then that's a huge priority. So we're specialists and market leaders in sales and marketing enablement. And that often sits in maybe two main areas. It's enabling people to be able to work smarter and more effectively, being able to corral and organize all of their content, their materials, their assets in one place and create a single source of truth that ensures a framework where the integrity and the quality of their output is second to none, and also equipping people to work a lot more efficiently day to day with their workflows, more streamlined, automated, leveraging AI to make for more intuitive engagements internally, but then how that is conveyed client-facing. How can the client experience be accentuated and perfected so that it's a lot more personal to the interests and requirements of the individual, the group, the institution, whoever it may be. So the data that we collect and deliver that enables every engagement to be that much more impactful and precise is absolutely critical. And then we wrap that around a framework of improvement. How do we cultivate a culture of education and proactive self-improvement so people are constantly improving on the job with measurable impact to their own performance and ultimately the performance with clients as well. So today, an environment like this is so important to us because we're able to understand how much, our potential clients and the wealth management industry as a whole are relying on innovations like that as they step forward into that marriage between the people contact and the technology's innovations. Well, it's almost the two-way aspect of it as well. The more that we can communicate with what's possible and share the insights that wealth managers in the industry who work and partner with Seismic, the impact that they enjoy, the measurable success that they see, that's vital for us to continue to connect ourselves to the industry and our importance. But equally, it's such an essential learning experience. The pace of change is unrivaled at the moment. People are looking at the next big thing. Where can they evolve? How can they distinguish their offering and their service, for example? To hear direct feedback from the marketplace, from wealth managers, from other providers who are also supplying that marketplace is absolutely critical. It helps inform the product. It helps us take the product into a direction that is more relevant and valuable to the marketplace that we service. I mean, that's a really good question, and it seems at the moment, almost week to week, the answer to that question changes. But there are some really consistent tenets that I suppose we stand by. The pillars of the product are reflecting, I think, the challenges that are being faced in the market. Number one, as I've talked about already, is the essential requirement to find ways to elevate the service, the offering, whatever your products might be, and create those critical points of difference so that you stand out and separate yourself from the marketplace. How can the client benefit? How is the client able to see a more precise and incisive experience tailored to their needs? Number two, wealth managers everywhere are looking at ways that they can be more creative in order to increase the rate that they acquire new clients. But also, and I'd probably bundle this in with that same second challenge, is how can they retain and grow the existing client base? Where are the cross-sell opportunities? And that all boils down to the quality of data. How can data be acquired on customers to better inform a wealth manager in order to be able to tailor their service and approach the more personal requirements based on a client's circumstances, whatever they may be? And thirdly, there's always this focus on compliance. Regulatory change in the landscape is changing so frequently. We need to be agile and be able to adapt to new requirements, new asks. At the moment, and in the last 12 months, we hear a lot about consumer duty. There's so much publicity and a lot of news talking about ways that the elevation of how people service their clients and the transparency with which they do it, it is absolute priority. So how are we able to create the accommodations that wealth managers need to do that pain-free and as efficiently as possible?